check out the GS, baby. Just easy peasy. Guess what? I'm on the MR, babies. I'm on the MR. And I have got a meat pie in my little zip-up bag and a can of Sprite in my pocket. How good is life? A full tank of gas, a meat pie in my zip-up bag, and a can of Sprite, babies, all aboard the MR on a Sunday afternoon. Anyway, this was the ride I was actually threatening to do the other night, and that bloody red Ducati caught my eye, and she gave me a little wink, a little nudge, and I found myself mounting the Ducati instead of the MR. And hopefully you enjoyed that little video on which one would I have if I could only have one. Begs the question, under what circumstances would I choose the MR? Under what circumstances would the answer to the question, if I could only have one, which would it be? Would the answer be the M1000R, babies? Because that's what I want to talk about today. Okay, that's a reminder. Holy shitballs. The size of these potholes. We have just had yet another weather event here in Sydney. We had like 130 mils of rain in like no time at all. Like overnight, basically. Place got flooded. The roads are probably shite, so I'll have to keep an eye out for all the things. Although, anyway, let's check that out. Honestly, like, there was more rain the other night in like a period of 2 hours than there had been in the previous billion years. I was lying at home and all I could hear was like having a stereo speaker next to you in bed at night with just this roar, just this rah! It was full on, man. Wasn't that nice kind of pitter-patter on the corrugated iron roof that you can go to sleep to? It was a full-on orchestra of like, it's like someone had a pot and a pan was just banging it next to your head. It's full-on, babies, full-on. Anyway, survived that, just. Although actually there is some water spraying into my house. And now we're just going to check out the riding conditions aboard the MR. And there are certain circumstances where you would much rather be on this bad boy than the Streetfighter. And I've got to tell you, today is one of them. Today is one of them. Can you guess what circumstance I'm referring to? There is something going on for me today that makes the MR a much better choice than the Streetfighter, and that is, drum roll please, I am hungover. I had some mates come over last night and we got on it. It was a rather large night, and so my head hurts. I'm not driving under the influence. It's late in the day and I'm not feeling in any way, shape or form under the influence. It wasn't that big a night. But I tell you, I've got a sore head and I'm tired, and that is one example of a scenario where you'd rather be on the MR. Because you don't have to think too much to ride this bike. Okay, you just cruise at this speed, you know, nothing too crazy, and it is delightful and easy to ride. That is for sure. Just careful for a stick mid-corner. Just take it a bit easy, but yeah, so this is one scenario when you would much rather be on the MR is when you're not feeling well, because it's just easy. Now, I know it's a 200 plus horsepower superbike, get all that, oh Jesus, but it's so compliant and just easy peasy. So that's for sure. So if I was on the Streetfighter right now with my head thumping the way it is, I would have to be, you know, really like in tune with the bike and on my best behaviour and switched on. Whereas on the MR, it's a piece of cake. Anyone could ride this. Honestly, I reckon a beginner could ride this. It's so easy. Oh, shitballs. Look at this. Greasy, yucky, crikey dick. Nasty stuff. So that's the first scenario I want to talk about. The other scenario where I'd much rather, if I could only choose one, I'd choose this, is if I wanted people to look at me. Oh shit, look at this. This is the sort of stuff that I'm worried about. Imagine coming across that mid-corner, leaned over. It'd be bloody difficult, I can tell you that much for free. Yeah, so if you want the looks, babies, so if you're sort of taking your bike out for a Sunday ride looking to score, this would be the machine to be on, because people look at it, okay, and they look at you on it, because it's sick, it's stunning, and it's like got this really weird menacing look. And just bear with me, I'll be right back. So navigate this stoppy thingy-majigamy. Oh, the road looks crap. It's a shame. It's disappointing. Check out my meat pie. Look at this. There she is, all squashed up in there. Be nice and juicy, marinating in its mincy, saucy stuff. Fox poison laid in this area. I'll tell you what, you feel like a fox when you're aboard the MR. It is one of the scenarios where you'd rather be on this if you want to be looked at. If you want to be a fox, you know, this is the bike. I mean, Ducati's awesome, looks great of course, but there's something unique about this and different, and the whole M badging, especially motorists, cage drivers, because they all know what the M means, they all kind of go, oh, that's pretty cool. Definitely more reactions, yeah, on this bike. They took way too long. I'm not going on a crappy road. I'm not paying $12 to go on this. Look at this. Look at this shite. I've got to queue up, pay $12 to go on that road and experience this shite. And I sat there for 15 minutes queuing behind those cars. Nah. Not doing it. I don't care. I'm not doing it. I'm just going to cruise around here. You're lost, National Park. You're lost. Yep, so that's the other scenario where you'd rather be on this, because people would love it. I get so many wolf whistles and toots and waves and thumbs up on this bike, and in the black it just looks like Darth Vader. Totally is Darth Vader, and everyone loves Darth Vader. I mean, I know when we watched Star Wars, everyone's like, oh, go Luke, go the good guys, go the Force, but let's face it, we're all secretly in awe of Darth Vader, and look, we probably all wanted Darth Vader to win, and you know, I'm now riding Darth Vader, and I'm going to be super careful. Look at this crap. It's going to be a slow ride today, boys and girls, sorry. Just, yeah, once in a billion year rain event 2 nights ago, flooded the house, and look at this road, it's shit. Anyhow, the other time you'd want to be on this bike is now, in shite like this, like when the road surface is no good, or it's wet, or it's just not a nice riding day, and you have to ride, and you're caught out in the rain or weather on a bike, you'd rather be on this, because it is a bit more forgiving and well, a lot more forgiving and compliant than the Streetfighter. So in crazy environmental scenarios, you'd rather be on this bad boy. So there's three occasions I've given you where if you only have one, it'd be the MR. The other time you want to be on the MR is if you're in a hurry, right? So if you're in a real hurry and we're talking road riding environment, you're in a hurry, you've got to get somewhere fast, and you just want to get there in a no fuss, no BS way, you jump on this because it's clinical. Okay, it's like a scalpel, and everything you ask it to do, it just does. Right? No surprises, absolutely no surprises. So it is so reliable and clinical that you got to go A to B in a hurry. Don't want to muck around. It's not necessarily about the journey, it's actually about getting there quickly. You'd probably take this, because the Streetfighter is just going to give you too many jollies, and you're going to take your mind off the destination. You're going to enjoy the journey too much, and you're pretty late. Alright, so look, I know you're not going to find any of this analysis in proper reviews of this bike, but that's the XODAS thing, right? I'm trying to give you the real ownership and the truth of ownership of these bikes, and we all know it's the things you don't find in brochures that make the difference on your experience of any given motorcycle. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Alright, this looks like the perfect spot to have my meat pie, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here on this very wharfy thing, and I'm going to have my meat pie. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh, not really. The roads are pretty crappy.
My good time I had up here, my mate, he was shagging my chick, and her dad was a ranger, and she slipped his key out, and we got up here when we closed gates. I won my R1. I know I clocked him 220 through 30 down back there. Mate, we nearly died there. Wow. That corner, you know that long straight, and it peels up to the right. Oh my god, I used because I knew not what coming the other way.
Yeah, you used the whole road.
I came out left, I felt like I did Isle of Man back in the day, so.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah, tell you what, mate, even look at that. I've just got goosebumps just talking.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, it's just madness, eh? It's
mate,
mad.
over that mountain, it's just clicked, and you're just grass. You stay on grey path.
Well, that was hilarious. What a character! What a motorcycling character! Saw me pull into the fishing dock there and came over with his brewski and had a right old chat, didn't he? Eh? He's seen it and done it, that is for sure. He's done the Isle of Man, and on an analogue bike, he'd probably be some rider and have either a fair dose of crazy and a fair dose of skill, no doubt. I just admire people who can achieve those sorts of things. You know, back to the MR, here we are. Check out this beautiful spot in Sydney's north, as we come through sort of what they call the Pittwater region. If we've got time, we might even head up to Palm Beach. Two main factors determine which bike you would own. Now, if you have both, and have the ultimate luxury to kind of apply this, then that's awesome. And it's how you feel is one factor, and the other factor is what sort of conditions you're riding in. And if you feel alive and awake and kind of in the zone and want to have fun, you take the Duke anytime. But if you are a bit hungover, or you just feel like you need a nice ride that's not going to be too kind of involving or taxing, you take the MR, because this is just easy peasy. And dare I say it, borderline boring. Okay, I said it. I said it. I actually said it. There is never, ever a moment on the Ducati when you could possibly be bored. Not one moment. On this, those moments do come and go. They exist, okay? Boring moments do exist. And that all comes down to what I said in my last video. The engine, okay? Because if I want to get a real, just a momentary kick on the Ducati, I do this. And I get the kick. On this bike, don't get the same kick. Okay? But this is still a bike that allows me, I should say, to enjoy the moment around me right now and not think too much. Okay, not think too much. So it comes down to how you feel and what sort of conditions you're in. In demanding conditions, take the Beamer. Feeling not your best, take the Beamer. Easier conditions, take the Duke. Feeling really good, take the Duke. It's kind of how I see it. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find some sense in there somewhere. Unlikely, I know. Welcome to Palm Beach, babies. For those of you who remember my ride out to West Head, where I go to that little lookout and I look across the water, it's actually over there, and I look across the water to here. Yes, this is the other side of the waterway as we come around these S-bends into Palm Beach proper. As you can see, there's some of the water from the other night, and this is 2 days later. So yeah. I was sitting in that cafe one day actually, and I watched a bloke come around this corner on a Kawasaki 1000. He fell off. Took the corner a bit fast. A bit too fast for his ability. Golf course on our left. We're going to come around this corner here onto Palm Beach, facing out to the Pacific Ocean. Here we go, look at that, the golden sands of Palm Beach. This is where a number of famous Australian, one particular famous Australian soap opera, I think it was Home and Away, was filmed up here. One of those ones. So there are, in conclusion, plenty of times where being on the MR would be your preference over the Ducati. And hopefully I've covered some of those for you today. But I still say, if I could only have one, if it was real, and I had to get rid of one, it would probably be the MR, just because motorcycling's probably its best when you're feeling alive and awake and wanting the best experience, and that I think you get on the Ducati, to be honest. But it's only because the inline 4 is so geared so. Sorry, I just got a bit distracted. It's only because the inline 4 obviously comes in its own so high up the rev range that it makes road riding a little mundane, whereas on the V4 you do get to enjoy lower rev fun, and that is a key reason in the end why, if I could only have one, I would pick the Duke. But there are the scenarios which I've outlined today where you'd pick this. Stand by that, and yeah. The other scenario you would most definitely want to be on the MR would be if on the way to work or the beach you needed to go 300. Right, so if you need to go 300 k's per hour, 300 kph, approximately 200 mile an hour, if you need to do that on the way to work, look at that, see the thumbs up then? That's what I'm talking about. You want the looks, you want to get, you know, picked up, ride this baby. But if you need to go 300, this is your bike. Because that's when this bike's actually at its best. Inline 4, you know, all the way to 15,000 bazillion RPM, that's when it comes into its own. So if for those days where you need to go 300 on the way to work, then this is your machine. This is your bike. Funny what that toothless Isle of Man rider was talking about. That toothless joker was talking about when he was talking about analog bikes v digital, you know. And I agree with him. And I got to say, having owned this bike now for quite a while and backing it with, you know, the Duke and the Multi and others, if there was one word that I would use to describe this bike, it'd be digital. This is like a computer game. This bike is a computer game. Okay, it's a really good one, and you could be forgiven for thinking you're actually in real life, in the real world, but you're not. When you're on this bike, you are actually playing a computer game. Okay, it is so precise and so easy and like just digital with all of the rider aids and all of the protection and all of the sort of things that make this bike ride itself, that it's inherently digital. And where the Ducati, I reckon, has nailed it, is the Ducati is digital too, but it doesn't feel digital. Okay, it's a digital bike that makes you think you're on an analog bike. How's that for deep analysis and insight? How's that? I bet you won't read that in a motorcycle magazine. This is inherently a digital artifact. And you are, when you're on it, in a simulator. You are in a artificial simulation when you're on the MR. And that can be awesome. Okay, that can be awesome if you are wanting a digital experience, and many people love digital experiences, then this is your bike, right? It's a bit like my Nissan GTR, my R35 that I had. That was same. Deeply digital experience. Still fun and awesome and great and, you know, outrageous, but digital. And that, I reckon, probably nails the MR's character. I reckon that nails it. That is, in a nutshell, how you should think about this machine. Now I'm riding it with Race Pro 2, direct throttle mode. You know, the rider aids are there, but you know, I've got it in its most beast mode, and it's still a very digital experience. Even the pops and bangs from the exhaust, it's like they're artificial. They're kind of like programmed to do that at a particular time, and it's the same time every time. It's just repeatable, predictable, digital. Boom, 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 boom. Ones and zeros, baby. Ones and zeros. That is ultimately what the MR is. It's ones and zeros. So if you are choosing between these two bikes, hopefully if you've watched my videos on ownership of these things, you should have a pretty good picture by now as to what you will experience should you get one of them. You just missed some masterful XODAS. XODAS at its best. Bloody GoPro. Seriously, sucks, man. But in conclusion, final word on the Streetfighter versus the MR is that the MR is the best digital bike going around, and the Streetfighter is the best semi-digital bike going around. There you go, 2 new categories for the motorcycling world to digest. Hope you enjoyed this video. This ride to Palm Beach on a Sunday afternoon. That's all from me today. See you later. Look at him! Ah! Ah!